Listen to me right now because what I'm about to tell you will change everything you think you know about success, failure, and the journey you're on. I started alone. Completely alone. When I had my vision, when I had my dream burning inside my chest like a fire that wouldn't go out, I looked around, and you know what I saw? Nothing. Nobody. No cheerleaders, no supporters, no believers. Just me and this crazy idea that everyone else thought was impossible. They laughed. They mocked. They said I was dreaming too big, reaching too far, wanting too much. But here's what they didn't understand. When you start alone, you learn something that people with crowds of supporters will never learn. You learn that you are enough. You learn that your belief in yourself is the only belief that matters. You learn that the fire inside you doesn't need external validation to keep burning. I started alone, and in that solitude, I found my greatest strength. I found the warrior within me that didn't need anyone's permission to chase greatness. And then I failed. Oh, I failed spectacularly. I failed alone, too. There was no one there to catch me when I fell. No safety net, no shoulder to cry on, no one to tell me it was going to be okay. I hit the ground hard, and the impact shattered everything I thought I knew about myself. I failed at businesses. I failed at relationships. I failed at things I thought I was naturally good at. I lost money. I lost time. I lost opportunities. I watched my dreams crumble right in front of my eyes while the world kept spinning like nothing happened. The people who doubted me, they felt vindicated. They said, "I told you so," with that smug satisfaction in their voices. The few people who initially believed in me, they walked away. They couldn't handle watching me struggle. They couldn't handle being associated with failure. And there I was, alone again, but this time lying in the ruins of everything I had built. But here's what failure taught me when I experienced it alone. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is your greatest teacher. When you fail alone, without anyone to blame, without anyone to share the responsibility with, you're forced to look in the mirror and confront the truth. You're forced to own every mistake, every wrong decision, every moment of weakness. And in that ownership, in that brutal honesty with yourself, you find something incredible. You find the power to change. You find the wisdom to learn. You find the courage to try again. Failing alone stripped away my ego. It destroyed my false confidence. It shattered my illusions. And from those broken pieces, I built something real, something solid, something unshakable. I learned that failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down. Failure is giving up. Failure is letting your circumstances define your destiny. But getting knocked down, that's just part of the process. That's just tuition in the University of Life. And I paid that tuition in full alone with nobody to split the cost with. Every tear I cried alone. Every night I stayed up wondering if I should quit. I wrestled with those demons alone. Every morning I had to find a reason to get up and try again. I found that reason within myself. Alone. And you know what happened? I became unconquerable. When you fail alone and you get back up alone, you realize that you don't need anyone to save you because you can save yourself. You don't need anyone to motivate you because your pain becomes your motivation. You don't need anyone to believe in you because you've learned to believe in yourself, even when the evidence suggests you shouldn't. Now let me tell you about winning alone. When I win, and I will win, I promise you that, I will win alone too. Not because I want to exclude people, not because I'm ungrateful for help along the way, but because the victory will be mine. The taste of success will be sweetest because I'll know that I earned every single drop of it. I paid the price in solitude. I put in the work when no one was watching. I made the sacrifices that no one will ever know about. I fought battles in my mind that no one will ever hear about. When I win, I won't have to share the credit with people who weren't there during the struggle. I won't have to pretend that someone else's contribution was equal to my blood, sweat, and tears. I won't have to diminish my achievement to make others feel included. My victory will be pure, authentic, earned, mine. Starting alone taught me self-reliance. Failing alone taught me resilience. And winning alone will teach me the ultimate lesson, that I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul, the architect of my destiny. You see, most people are afraid of being alone. They need constant validation, constant support, constant encouragement. They need people around them to tell them they're on the right path. They need crowds to make them feel significant. They need partnerships to feel secure. But not me. Not anymore. Solitude became my sanctuary. Loneliness became my laboratory where I experimented with different versions of myself until I found the one that works. Being alone became my competitive advantage because while everyone else was distracted by opinions, validation, and social approval, I was focused. Laser-focused on my goals, on my growth, on my greatness. Let me tell you something that successful people know but rarely say out loud. The higher you climb, the more alone you become. Success is lonely. The view from the top is beautiful, but it's isolated. Your old friends won't understand your new problems. Your family might support you, but they can't relate to your struggles at this level. The masses celebrate your wins, but they weren't there for your losses, so their celebration feels hollow. This is why starting alone is actually a gift. It prepares you for the solitude that comes with success. It trains you to be comfortable in your own company. It teaches you that you don't need a crowd to validate your worth. When everyone else needs cheerleaders, you'll have internalized your own motivation. When everyone else needs accountability partners, you'll have mastered self-discipline. When everyone else needs mentors to hold their hand, you'll have become your own guru through trial, error, and relentless self-education. I'm not saying don't accept help. I'm not saying push everyone away. I'm not saying relationships don't matter. What I'm saying is this: your success cannot be dependent on other people. Your dreams cannot require someone else's permission. Your drive cannot need external fuel. You have to be a complete, self-sufficient, unstoppable force all by yourself. Then, and only then, when you've proven to yourself that you can make it alone, can you bring others into your vision from a position of strength rather than need. Starting alone means you don't wait for the perfect partner to start your business. You start it yourself. It means you don't wait for someone to believe in your idea. You believe in it so powerfully that your belief becomes contagious. It means you don't wait for permission, for approval, for the stars to align. You create your own alignment. You give yourself permission. You approve your own dreams. Failing alone means you don't blame the economy, your circumstances, your lack of resources, or the people who didn't support you. You take full responsibility. You say, I failed, and here's what I learned. You use that failure as fertilizer for your next attempt. You fail forward. You fail faster. You fail better each time, until failing becomes just another tool in your success toolkit. Winning alone means that when you finally break through, when you finally achieve what everyone said was impossible, when you finally prove that your vision was worth pursuing, you'll know deep in your soul that you earned it. Every sacrifice, every lonely night, every moment of doubt that you pushed through, it was all worth it. And that victory will taste sweeter than anything you can imagine because you'll know you did it without shortcuts, without handouts, without depending on anyone's charity or pity. You know what separates the people who make it from the people who don't? It's not talent. Talent is overrated. It's not connections. Connections can open doors, but they can't walk through them for you. It's not resources. Some of the most successful people started with nothing. What separates winners from losers is the ability to keep going when you're alone. The ability to motivate yourself when no one else is there to motivate you. The ability to believe in your vision when everyone else thinks you're crazy. The ability to work in obscurity, knowing that your time will come. The ability to fail, learn, and try again without anyone holding your hand through the process. I see too many people waiting for a partner, waiting for an investor, waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to discover them, waiting for permission. And while they're waiting, life is passing them by. Opportunities are being seized by people who didn't wait. Success is being achieved by people who started before they were ready, who moved before they felt comfortable, who leaped before they could see the net. Stop waiting for someone to join your journey. Start walking and the right people will catch up. Stop waiting for someone to validate your dreams. Validate them yourself by working on them every single day. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions don't exist. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Alone. I started alone, which means I had to learn everything myself. I had to make every mistake personally. I had to fight every battle without backup. And yes, it was hard. It was brutally, painfully, exhaustingly hard. There were days I wanted to quit. There were nights I cried myself to sleep, wondering if I was crazy for persisting. There were moments I felt so